in the sport. He has been a coach at USA Boxing, along with providing refereeing and judging skills to their amateur program. He has also coached boxing at the Denver Police Department and has managed WBC Cares for the state of Colorado. Overlying those efforts has been his full-throated support for women in the ring. Please join me in welcoming Stephen to receive his award.
Well, I am really touched.
Good time, brother.
Because when I think about everything that's happened in my life, I've devoted boxing's been my life since I was the age of 10. I'm going to be 62, so that tells you that's a long time to be involved in the sport. But the thing that is really touching to me is because when I called, and I've been calling for the last few years, I talked to Sue. And I said, Sue, you know, I got this boxer, Terry Crews. I said, she deserves to be in the Women's Hall of Fame. Then on top of that, I had Terry's fiance, Roger, said, Steve, how are you going to get my girl in the Hall of Fame? So I was like, dude, I'm working on it.
I can attest to that.
So, you know, it's a fact. There's a few things that I would like to share with y'all, especially because, like when I saw the picture up there, man, it brought tears to my eyes. That's why I'm a little choked up, because I think of Don Jose. And when that man opened his arms to me and hugged me, when I went and applied for the WBC back in '04, I was like, wow, and he was like, he knew me. I sent him my resume and I said, hey, I've been officiating for over 25 years as amateurs. I was a former IEVA, and I was a USA boxing coach as well. He goes, that's remarkable. I never heard nobody be an IEVA and a USA coach. I said, I got lucky, I got away with it. But the thing that's so amazing about this whole journey is because, like, I've had a lot of firsts. I'll go back to my first crush in 8th grade. That lady sitting right there. But the crazy thing about it is I had to wait till we had our 30th class reunion, and we hooked up. So we get together 13 years. So you gotta remember, you never stop working. Just like you ladies. I've been so impressed with women's boxing. Like my oldest daughter is my first. But oh my God, she's been my first big pain too. But you know what? You still love her. They're your children. Between Raylene and I, we have 10 children because she had 5 in her previous marriage. I had 5. And the best thing that's really awesome about it is we have 9 out of 10 college graduates, which is really awesome. But the biggest thing that is because when I hooked up with Raylene, because she's seen I was involved with boxing, so you know, she was like, how come none of these kids that you train, especially these girls? And she goes, I always see you always trying to help these girls out. And I said, because you know what, I always felt I shortchanged my oldest daughter because she was the oldest. So I always felt that I needed to help those girls. So a lot of my boxers, none of the 2-year-olds and all of them, they all did great. So she's doing good too. But the bottom line is that no matter what you do in life, you always gotta care about somebody else, whether it's a female, whether it's a male. And if you got that gift that you can spread with the boxing, and like I used to always tell my boxers, and like the very first time I met Terry Crews, I used to train for brothers. So I seen this girl in the gym banging the heck out of the bag, and I'm looking at her, who's working with this girl? Nobody wanted to work with her. It reminded me of the first time that girls got to box in the Golden Gloves. None of the officials, they said, Blea, you work all the girl bouts. We don't want to do it. Because they were those old pioneer guys where they were saying, oh no, girls don't have no business in the ring. I'm like, man, you guys missed some good fights. These girls can box. They're like, you could finish the rest of the tournament doing all the girl bouts. So this was back in, geez, 84, the 90s. And I was like, wow, these women just don't get no respect. So after that, I started seeing, and then I had a few fighters along the way, because as a coach, I had like 26 national champions. But my girls impressed me because no matter what, they had no quit in them. I had Brittany Cruz, Terry's niece. I trained her. She was took second at Junior Olympics. And Nicole Herrera, she was a bronze medalist. And then Kyla Brazarza was a bronze medalist as well. But the thing in the story about these girls is because all of them never gave up, never quit, and they kept working and working to get to their goals. Example with Terry Cruz, because I told her, I said, what do you want to box for? She goes, because I want to box, because she says, I think I could be good at it. So I said, all right. So for a while, I worked with her, then she left. Then a year later, she came back. She says, Steve, who was her trainer, said, you train her because I can't deal with her. So I said, what? And then when I trained her, I ain't gonna lie, it was fun, it was a headache, it was hard, and it was bad. But you know what? The craziest thing is because at the time when you're officiating, when I was doing the amateurs and pros, they said, no, if you're a pro official, you cannot work at pros anymore. So I had to tell Terry, that was the hardest thing in my life, was to go tell her, Terry, I can't work with you anymore. But if you ever need me for any advice about a fight or whatever, I can help you work out with you. And then the irony of things, when you think about things in life, you know, things just happen. And I told her one time she came in the ring, I told the ring announcer, introduce that girl to come in the ring because nobody cared about these women. So I go, she's gonna be an upcoming prospect. She's gonna probably win a world title. So that day, and she's here and she could tell you the truth. They brought her in the ring, I raised her hand. She's like, and I said, you know what, Terry, can you imagine this? One day, I'm gonna raise your hand and you're gonna be a world champion, right? This is where they say, good karma runs. 4 years later, I'll be damned. Guess who got to be the referee in the first world title? And everybody's like, oh. I said, yeah, I used to train a long time ago, which is true. I said, but you know what? I don't want to be a judge. Let me be the referee. Because referee I said, I'm going to enforce the rules. I knew I didn't have to worry about all the crazy stuff, DQs or anything. She won the title. And the coolest thing was about her mother was there to see her win that title. There's also another first that during that time, Colorado never recognized women's boxing. And I used to go to the ladies at the Colorado women's, they have this Hall of Fame thing, right? It's always the swimmers, the Olympic champions, no boxers, no female boxers. I kept sending the letters, hey, I'm nominating this girl. She's a world champion from Colorado. They wouldn't do it. So finally one day I sent this letter and I went down to the office. Told the lady, you know what? This girl is gonna be a 2-time world champion. You're not gonna recognize her? She goes, but we don't like to see women fight. I said, man, boxing's a sport. I said, do me a favor. I showed her a clip. She goes, wow, that girl is good. I said, yeah, she is. Next thing you know, she got 2 awards back-to-back for Colorado Female Athlete in Boxing of the Year in Colorado. So that opened the doors there. So, ladies, what I'm trying to tell you is, I see so many awesome things that ladies do. I see what Christy Martin does. She's an advocate for domestic violence. I see Mia St. John out there pushing for mental health awareness, you know, because she lost her son and because she's seen a lot of people that are suffering. I had a girl recently that's 27 years old. I worked with her. She committed suicide at age 27. Why? We don't know. But you know what? Anybody in this room, you could touch somebody's heart. Reach out there and do what you can and do the best you can for them. So I'm going to close this now because I want to tell you, ladies, all you champions, there's one thing that nobody, for all the hard work and the dedication that you did, because I've seen it, I saw you, I've refereed so many world champions, that every one of them, and everyone that's in this room, you deserve everything that you've worked for. And there's one thing that I'm going to tell you right now. I want you to put your right hand up. All these ladies, put your hand up. Like pretend I'm raising your hand in the ring. You are now officially legends. Nobody will ever take that. And I'm going to leave you with one more quote. this was what touched me because you ladies gotta remember this. Our deepest fear is not that we are indigent. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Nelson Mandela wrote that. Ladies, we can't lose that key, so all you gotta do is keep opening the doors. One more thing. Everybody's like, see, I'm doing this for Donald's sake. You know, we stand bets.
Oh, yeah.
Sue Fox. Ah, because you're work with policemen as well, I'm gonna give you this mug for the Denver Police Department. There's one more thing. Because she knows through all the years, she can't fill this up. My goal is here because I've done this, Team Cruz has done this over the years, because I always want to see you ladies recognized for everything that you do. So, you know, a lot of us are not rich, because we're not. But somewhere, wait a minute, I'm getting lost here. So, hold on.
What, you gonna put $100 in this?
I'm looking for a $100 bill, but I can't find one.
This paper fell out on the floor.
Oh, that's great. This ain't worth nothing.
That's more like it.
But anyways, I am going to be the first one for next year's inductees. And I want you to match me, either at the 20 or beat me. And everybody put this money in this thing. So, next year's awards are going to be special, more better. And if I wish I had more money, but right now I'm kind of poor, so. Anyways, Sue, please pass this around. Whatever you want to give, do it for the ladies, do it for the champions. God bless you. Thank you.